Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. It has been pretty quiet in the crypto world lately, especially so early in the year, with a lot of people just bored and disappointed and growing impatient. And I get that, but there's still stuff to talk about every single day, and we do have a few stories today, so let's jump into it. Let's begin with this first. You can now buy Zcash over the counter from Galaxy Digital. The team of privacy-protecting cryptocurrency Zcash announced today that Galaxy Digital, a diversified merchant bank founded by Mike Novogratz, has begun OTC trading and two-sided liquidity solutions of Zcash. Yoshi Nakamura, global head of sales for Galaxy, added, "Galaxy Digital Trading is excited to welcome Zcash into its list of tokens that we trade OTC. We look forward to the continued development of a blockchain token ecosystem that is fundamentally changing the world." Galaxy joins other OTC trading firms in trading Zcash, including Circle Trade, Cumberland, and Genesis Trading. Galaxy Digital Trading brings experience from traditional finance to the crypto space. Their support reinforces Zcash as a leading project in the cryptocurrency space. I'm not sure if it quite reinforces Zcash as a leading project, because while Zcash is one of the bigger coins, I would not call it leading. But Galaxy is absolutely a big player from the traditional finance world that has gotten into crypto early and that has a lot of importance in the market, so this is a positive development for Zcash. Now, of course, it will take a while until we know just how much there is happening here. The nature of over-the-counter trades, of course, being that they're not as transparent for us because they are not happening on a traditional exchange. So it is very much possible that we just won't know how much is being sold there until they release a report at some point. But this means there is some kind of corporate, institutional, big money interest in Zcash, because otherwise they wouldn't be offering this. This is mainly going to be millionaire, billionaire investors, big financial institutions, hedge funds, and people who want to develop with Zcash, and maybe exchanges that need a certain amount of Zcash to help with liquidity early on. So this definitely means there is some corporate, not necessarily corporate, but some big money interest in Zcash, that the coin is not just something being traded by speculators and small-time investors, but that we can expect more to happen around it in the future. Now let's just briefly talk Ripple and XRP, because there was an open discussion the other day where someone had kind words about them. XRP is back to being the second largest cryptocurrency in the world after pushing Ethereum back to the third spot. 2019 has been a really good year for Ripple and XRP, as the latter exceeded more than 200 partnerships with financial institutions. That sounds so weird to say the year started 10 days ago. Moreover, in a recent AMA-style discussion named "Have Your Say on the Future of Money," Bank of England's Governor Mark Carney discussed with a few XRP fans about the bank's plans regarding the future of cross-border payments. Carney stated, "Money is evolving, and so is the way we pay and the financial services we want. Banknotes will remain a central form of payment for some time." I agree there. Everyone who thinks that crypto will completely take over within a year, in my honest opinion, is delusional. These things take time. On the discussion forum, a user, Steve, asked, "How does the Bank of England view the increased utility of digital assets, e.g. the use of XRP through RippleNet as a bridging asset for cross-border payments and transfers, and is the Bank of England working towards the use of a digital asset to perform this or any other monetary tasks?" Carney replied that the bank had already teamed up with Ripple in 2017 to work towards new ideas in cybersecurity, digital assets, distributed ledger technology, machine learning, and many other topics. Furthermore, he explained, "For that proof of concept study, we looked at whether two transactions in different currencies could be executed simultaneously in separate RTGS systems. The important test is that if one of the synchronized transactions fails to go through, the other part should not go through. That shows the system is working properly and could in principle be used for cross-currency conversions." He said that this could be something that could change how cross-border payments work and ultimately change it in an unprecedented way by reducing fees and transaction times. Earlier in October 2018, in an interview with ZBoss TV, Victoria Cleland, Bank of England's Executive Director for Banking, Payments and Financial Resilience, spoke about their proof of concept, which was research on the future of money done by partnering with Ripple. She stated, we do want to make sure, what we do want to make sure is, there's probably a word missing there. What we want to make sure is that when there are sort of participants or systems who want sort of plug into RTGS, that they can do so using DLT, so the proof of concepts that we ran over the summer, really trying to say if somebody wants to connect us to from a... I feel like this wasn't taken down right, this quote, can work, and the really good news was that it can. Takeaway from here is that the proof of concept worked. Now, generally, when you have a proof of concept and when everything works out fine, that means you generally move ahead to integrate this in some real form in the future. What this was meant to show is that Ripple's technologies, using XRP, using XRapid, I assume in this situation, is theoretically capable of doing what it promises to do, and that it can revolutionize cross-border transactions in the way it tries to do so. They have proven that in 2017, 2018, and they still seem to have a very positive opinion of Ripple and their technologies. So I think we can see a much closer association between Bank of England and Ripple and XRP in the future. Now you can margin trade TRON on OKX. The cryptocurrency exchange of OKX began margin trading for the TRON cryptocurrency just yesterday, January 10th at 4 AM UTC. The announcement went on to state that the available leverage was as follows. And this is, I assume this is a tweet, but this could have also been a statement on their website. We will make the following changes at 5 AM January 10th, 2019 in order to provide you a better trading experience. 1. Launch of spot margin trading for the pairs TRX USDT and TRX BTC, 3 times leverage. And 2. Support of TRX for OK Piggy Bank. 3 times leverage is not that much, but they might be increasing this in the future. To note is that the announcement by OKX also included TRX being available on the Piggy Bank service of the exchange. Back in late November, OKX announced that it was launching this new service that allows its users to earn interest on spare digital assets that they are not actively trading. Known as OK Piggy Bank, users earn daily interest on the said assets. The service can be found in the Account tab on the user interface. There is no minimum limit for using the service, and interest starts accruing on the 2nd day. Rewards will start being credited on the 3rd day. There's also an auto balance transfer function that automates the process of transferring funds from the user's wallet to the piggy bank. So here we see more opportunities to trade TRON, and margin trading is something that a lot of, I always call them big boy investors, a lot of really experienced investors who are playing with a lot of money like to use. You have higher risk, but you also have much higher potential profits that way. Now, like I said, 3 times leverage is on the lower end. Some services offer 10 times leverage, but it is still, that still significantly increases your potential for profits as well as your potential for losses. What I find interesting is this piggy bank, because I had not actually previously heard about it, but I mean, I don't know how high the interest you accrue on your investment is, but that is a very interesting thing for them to do, because it incentivizes people to keep the cryptocurrency on their platform, and it also makes their platform more attractive than other platforms, because if you can keep your assuming you're keeping your cryptocurrency on an exchange and not pulling it all out. If you're going to keep it on an exchange, and if you're not going to actively trade with it, say if you're waiting for the prices to go to a certain place and then you just want to be able to sell it off or buy quickly, then this makes OKX's platform so much more attractive, because you're going to earn interest on your holdings there over time while you're not actively using them. This is of course the same concept that normal bank accounts have, where the amount of interest you get has dropped significantly after the last financial crisis. It was never a great amount, but it used to be perfectly possible to get 2 or maybe even 3% interest a year on your holdings in a bank. Nowadays you're lucky if you get 0.3%. But this is very much the same thing, and for cryptocurrencies that don't offer proof of stake, or that only offer proof of stake when you have a very high amount and when you really have to lock the cryptocurrency up permanently for it to happen, this might be a way that that is more attractive for people. It all depends on just how high the percentage that they give every day is, but I think this is a very intriguing thing. This is a very good way of setting yourself apart from the competition, and OKX had a great idea here that I hope to see other exchanges follow up on this. And last but not least, not all news can be positive. So there are at least 2 alleged scam forks for Ethereum coming up that seem to be out to steal people's private keys and by extension possibly steal people's Ethereum holdings. So this is a serious issue, and be very careful what you invest in, who you give your private keys. But let's just read this article. Altcoins Ethereum Nova and Ethereum Classic Vision are reportedly appropriating the private keys of users trying to redeem their allegedly forked coins. The suspected scam was covered in a report sent to Cointelegraph by the Guarda Wallet development team on January 11th. The official website of the Ethereum Nova project, which doesn't contain a white paper, that is a massive red flag, describes the process that users are supposed to engage in to obtain ETN. According to the website, the user should first send Ether to an address and then export the private key and redeem the cryptocurrency using the dedicated online tool. Every single part of this sounds shady already. A user on Ethereum Block Explorer Etherscan has commented on the aforementioned address, asserting that the address is engaging in a scam hard fork airdrop after warning "don't send anything here." The tool to claim the coins appears to be a clone of the well-known online Ethereum wallet MyEtherWallet, featuring the original logo, website title and page under a different domain. The main difference compared to the original Mu interface is that all the options that let the user choose how to access the wallet are grayed out, other than the one allowing the user to paste in their private key. Another massive red flag. Furthermore, some browsers flag the tool as a deceptive site. This is less of a red flag because there are often false positives there, especially in the crypto world. The Guarda Wallet team wrote that, analyzing the code, they found out that the private key is not only being processed by the tool, but also being sent to a remote server. That should never, ever, ever happen. There is no reason your private key needs to... There are sometimes reasons it needs to be processed locally on your computer. There is never a reason why it should be sent to a remote server to who knows who it's going to. According to the Guarda report, Ethereum Nova is a way for the thieves to get your private information and gain access to your wallet. Ethereum Classic Vision's hard fork, according to the project's white paper, is happening today. The website contains links to a downloadable Windows and Linux wallet alongside a web tool. Near the Claim Fork button, the website states, regardless of which authorized wallet you use to hold your Ether, your free ETCV will be initially sent to the official Ethereum Classic Vision wallet. So far this sounds less worrying. While we are currently in negotiations with a number of popular wallets, at the moment of the fork we will not be able to send ETCV to those wallets due to certain differences in the algorithms used. The Guarda Wallet team noted that while this project looks more solid than ETN, after closer examination they reportedly found that the ETCV team also appropriated the private keys of the users. The analysis on the code performed by our team has shown that the piece of code provided actually sends your private key data to the Ethereum Classic Vision servers, masking it as an API token. Holy... I'm not gonna say it because I try not to curse on the channel, but wow! At least I try not to use the worst curses. You're gonna hear a damn every now and then. I think that's socially acceptable. This is just so incredibly shady. And there is really no reason to present this, no way to present this as anything but a scam. There is no reason your private addresses, your private key, should ever be sent to a server. There is no reason for this. And oh my god, just be careful guys, be very careful what you invest in, what you give your private data, where you enter your private key. Be careful that you only do that for projects where you have a reasonable degree of trust. These both have so many red flags just before you even get to downloading the wallet. One of them doesn't even have a white paper. Never invest in a cryptocurrency that doesn't have documentation. But yeah, there are so many attempted scams in the crypto world, and unfortunately a lot of them are successful because a lot of people are very trusting, and this sounds negative, but a lot of people, it's just true, a lot of people are also very gullible. And this is a skill that every single one of us needs to learn in a digital world, where scams are so much easier to carry out, and it's so much easier to get away with a scam than it ever was before. We need to be very careful with our data, with access data, with private data, with passwords, with access codes. Be incredibly careful. Another thing that I keep repeating, never reuse a password. Get yourself a password manager. Most internet browsers nowadays can integrate one right into the browser. and generate a new secure password for every single website or service that you sign up for. Never reuse one. And there are so many ways to make that comfortable nowadays. I have completely switched over to a password manager years ago. Since that, to my knowledge, none of my accounts have in any way been compromised, and I have not been included in any leaks. And even if something like that were to happen, only that one service would be compromised. So this has very little to do with these types of scams, but it's a general safety thing on the internet that the vast majority of people do not do. I believe only about 2% of people use unique passwords and use good passwords in the first place for every website they sign up for. That is something we all need to learn. Otherwise, you are advertising yourself as a potential victim. If a massive leak happens, like a Yahoo leak or something, where everyone's passwords appear online, you are setting yourself up to be a victim. You're setting yourself up to have your identity stolen, to have your money stolen, if you're American, to possibly have your social security number stolen. Be careful. Always be careful on the internet with what you do. There are people out to get you everywhere on the internet. Be careful, guys. And these scams, these are just one of many ways that people prey on others' gullibility and others' trust, and also on others' greed. Because, of course, they were dangling the idea of free money in front of your face. Every hard fork represents free money. You get extra tokens just for holding tokens of something else. So it's just a toxic mix here, and unfortunately the crypto world is full of scams like that. These are literally two similar scams, or alleged scams, but they look very much like scams. Two alleged scams that are happening at the same time for the same cryptocurrency. How many more are out there? Be careful, guys. That is going to be my message for this video. If you take one thing away from this video, it's to be very careful, to question everything that you invest in, to read up, and to be very careful with your data, and to never reuse passwords. Get a password manager. Anyway, thanks for watching. All the links in the description. In the description, you'll also find links to my social media pages, as well as ways to support the channel. Also, if you like my content, I would really appreciate if you just left a like and comment under my videos. It really helps me get discovered. It really helps bring more people onto my channel, get new people here, and if the channel grows, we all benefit from that, because that means I will be able to invest more time, effort, and money into making videos for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video likely tomorrow.